Many people find it difficult to refuse when they are asked for help, some action, or participation. Sometimes they invite you to take a walk, go to the movies, help with something, or just want to chat on the phone. It won't be difficult for you to do all this, although now you can get dressed, go outside, and walk without goals for a full day. But do you really need it, or at least do you really need it? For those who call you most often, the answer to this question will be no. We do a lot unconsciously towards the end of life. We realize that for decades we have been occupied with things whose importance tends towards zero, leaving the most important things for later. Remember, just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to. In this video, I will talk about why and how to learn to say no. Allow yourself to refuse. I am convinced that a mechanism of helping others is woven into people, but our brain, confined within the framework of our beliefs, sometimes reduces our assistance to diametrically opposite results, even when we intend to help. We often make things worse, even when asked for help. People who find it difficult to refuse help to others mistakenly believe that without their assistance, things will worsen. This is not always the case and is one way to learn to say no. For instance, if you help your son with his homework once, he might thank you, but if you do it 3 times, he'll notice a pattern, and by the 10th time, he might demand your help, considering it his birthright. How effective will his education be then? A caring mother might not even realize how her assistance, which was fervently requested by her beloved child, could ruin her son's education. Embrace the truth that not everything we do has the expected consequences, sometimes even when refusing to help. We enable a person to develop on their own. Establish personal boundaries. People often feel that if they can help or spend time with someone, they should agree. Otherwise, a sense of shame arises. However, when there are solid reasons for refusal, we do not feel ashamed. For example, a close friend invites you to a cafe, but you have a business trip this evening. In this case, refusing will be straightforward, and the refusal won't be associated with negative emotions. Personal boundaries are essentially your internal priorities. It's a scale of importance firmly embedded in your mind, enabling you to know clearly what matters to you and what does not. You can easily filter out unnecessary events, and established priorities allow you not to feel ashamed of refusal. A straightforward example is if you are neutral about drinking alcohol, it's not at all difficult for someone to pull you into a lively company full of heavy drinkers. If your friend is in need and asks you to come, you are likely to agree. But if you are clear that you don't drink and don't associate with those who do, it will be nearly impossible to pull you into such a situation. Even refusing a good friend will be effortless. It's all about priorities. If it's important for you to be alone every evening, from 9 to 10 for meditation or drawing, then if someone invites you to go shopping, you will refuse easily, even if someone really needs your company. In short, set priorities. The understanding of who these successful people are is often overlooked by many people. A successful person knows how to allocate their time and not waste it. They clearly understand what is important and what is not. If they go for a walk with someone, that person is important to them, otherwise, they simply don't waste their time. Successful people are successful because they know how to refuse. When offered to smoke in childhood, they refused. The inner strength was strong in them. 30 years later, when offered to sell the company, they refuse again. The inner strength is strong in them once more. The ability to refuse is the key to success. Practice refusing with yourself. First and foremost, it is important to understand that refusing to help someone doesn't always lead to worsened outcomes. Setting boundaries and knowing when to say no are crucial in preserving your own well-being and priorities. The understanding of who these successful people are is often overlooked by many people. A successful person knows how to allocate their time and not waste it. They clearly understand what is important and what is not. If they go for a walk with someone, that person is important to them, otherwise, they simply don't waste their time. Successful people are successful because they know how to refuse. When offered to smoke in childhood, they refused. The inner strength was strong in them. 30 years later, when offered to sell the company, they refuse again. The inner strength is strong in them once more. The ability to refuse is the key to success. Practice refusing with yourself. First and foremost, it is important to understand that refusing to help someone doesn't always lead to worsened outcomes. Setting boundaries and knowing when to say no are crucial in preserving your own well-being and priority. Your life will start to attract people who also respect their own time and the time of others. Typically, these are very successful people. In short, respect your environment, yourself, and the time that has been given to you. Now, about the technicalities of refusal to make it less hurtful for others. It's important. I'll think about it, use this phrase more often. It will make your conversation partner consider whether they truly need something and temporarily relieve you of the responsibility of refusal. Use this phrase when you are busy or not ready to decline at the moment. The next time you are asked, you will be more relaxed in your refusal. Start with a refusal, gratitude, or a compliment, for instance. Let refusal be refused. The worst is when a person doesn't understand if they've been refused or if someone is toying with them. No, it must clearly mean no. If the requester continues to persuade you, it means you haven't learned to refuse clearly enough for others to understand. Never regret having refused. What's done is done, and let it not bother you anymore. Unnecessary people will naturally fade from your life. But those who respect others' time and energy will always be able to understand you.